okay? I need to really yank the dog to get my point across, okay? It's really not about hurting the dog, it's just about getting their attention. And that's the biggest thing, okay? If you can get the attention without using the pinch collar, then you've made steps further than having to use that pinch collar. Once you know how to use the leash, just so that you can control him, but if you can do it without even using the leash, then it's even better than that, because the dog sees, okay, you can communicate with me without having to tug me or anything like that, and then we can move on to off-leash training, which is pretty fun, you know. So where I want you guys to get to, because you guys have a lot of time on your hands to work with these dogs, yes. You guys ain't going nowhere. But he's a good dog. You guys did do a good job training him. Yeah. Sit.
How he came.
And one big aspect of it is the obedience training is going to teach the dog to listen to you. But there are other psychological issues that the dog will have that the obedience training can't help. What the obedience training does is it makes it easier for you to go ahead and go and deal with those issues. If your dog is all over the place and he's not listening, then it's very hard for him to start to understand what you want him to do. You want him to cope with society, you want him to cope with people. He needs to be in that relaxed state of mind. And in order to get him there, you kind of have to get him to the point where he listens. That's my dude.
Sure, and a question, so like if he was barking, you just wait there until he finishes barking, or?
That, or you go through the corrective process. Okay? When I gave him that verbal correction, that's what triggered him. He knew what that was. Naturally, he's never met me before, and he probably never had that happen to him before by a person. So when you give him that corrective, you give him those corrections, it's really calming his energy down. Okay, so his energy level was at 9. Okay, he's got one more energy level. We don't want to see that. Okay, so when I give him that correction, then it calms him down a little bit. It calms him down a little bit more. So then you're down to a notch, 2 notches, down to 8, 7, 5, and then once we get him down to maybe 3 or 4, then we can take him out of the crate, because he just respects you as soon as he steps out the crate. Okay, so he really has to respect you when he's in the crate.
Have you had a dog that won't respect you, like just comes out and after you?
Well, yeah, but you got control of the door. Okay, and that's one thing that they really have to respect. So if they try and come out, the first thing you want to do is just close the door. Okay, you don't really want to try and grab him to pull to stop him, because then he's already started. You've already started fighting with the dog, and the dog is like, I can win this fight. He can't win with the door. So you just close it. If he's already starting to bolt out, close it back, give him the verbal correction, open it slowly, wait. And so what the dog is going to do is going to try and predict what you're going to do. Okay. And by having control of the door, then you can say, all right, I'm not going to open it until you're calm. Okay? That's one of the big things about it. If he starts to respect you more, then when we transition him over into a home, he knows how to respect people properly. Okay? Because if kids were in this situation, one of the big things the kids do is they do everything. Ah! That's going to trigger that same reaction. The owner of that dog or the owner of the kid is going to say, which one's more important, the dog or the kid? We already know what the answer is. Okay? So it's important for him to understand how to manage certain situations without getting into that state.
But I want too close.
It's okay. This is actually a good reaction, and this is cool. Gideon, keep doing what you're doing. Don't get too close to him. I want you to stay about 6 feet back. But for me, if I manage the situation properly, I stop Gideon from getting bit. But what I also do is I teach him that I can manage this situation by myself. Not only can I manage everything that's going on around me, I can manage you too, okay? And you need to respect me, because I'm gonna guide you through this situation. Sit. So I gave him the little poke. The poke is not to hurt him, okay? I can't hurt him. The pinch collar can't hurt him. People, they always keep going. I keep on reading articles online about pinch collars are so cruel. I'm like, look, we're dealing with an animal that can rip you apart in about 5 to 10 seconds, okay? In that 5 or 10 seconds, he's really doing some damage, okay? This pinch collar is not going to do anything to that animal, because it's naturally prepared for stuff like that. It's naturally prepared to combat another dog, okay? So if I poke the dog, I'm not hurting him. Okay? If I give him a correction, I'm hurting him a little bit, but not anything that's really going to hurt him really, really bad. You know, we don't want him to be scared of us. We just want him to respect us. We're not going to get that respect by making him fear us. We're going to get that respect by showing him, you know, this is how things go. But for him, you guys are doing the right thing. You guys are working with him. You guys have to be very consistent with him, because if you're not, then he lapses back into that instinctual behavior. Okay?